Thank you. We are now at the conclusion of our event. Let me just start my closing remarks. I promise the clock over there is at 4 minutes 52 seconds, so they aren't going to be long, by thanking you, Samira, for being our host and being a terrific impresario of this event. The stamina that must have been required to navigate all of those different sessions over the past 2 days is remarkable. You've done a fantastic job, and it's been a privilege to have you with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please thank you. And can I echo her thanks to the captain and the ship's company of the HMS Queen Elizabeth. Absolutely magnificent performance by you on this extraordinary warship, the most advanced ever produced for the British fleet. And I look forward to our hosting events in 2021 on this ship and on her sister ship, HMS Prince of Wales, to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the Atlantic Charter and to take this effort into the Pacific as HMS Queen Elizabeth and the Carrier Strike Group deploys into that region of the world. And I hope everyone will join us for that. It's appropriate, as we concluded with the two ambassadors there, that we've concluded this forum on Trafalgar Day in 2020. Trafalgar Day, as Woody Johnson might have reminded us, the Battle of Trafalgar took place about 20 years after we concluded a peace agreement with a rebellious set of provinces over the other side of the Atlantic. And it actually was, of course, marked the turning point in the Napoleonic Wars and was actually the foundation moment of British maritime supremacy in the 19th century, which, of course, led to so much of our ability to shape the modern world, and behind which America grew and became a powerful democracy and then took over that leadership in the 20th century and continued to shape the rules of the modern world by which we all prosper. So Trafalgar Day itself was the Battle of Trafalgar was a crucial moment in the history of this alliance. It actually goes back to almost to the point at which the UK recognised the new nation of the United States. We had a little trouble in 1812, but thereafter we have been allies, partners for most of the last 200 years. And of course that was crystallised in the Atlantic Charter of 1941, and it's been built since. The themes of this conference, I think, have been striking. The thing that has really struck me in almost every session have been words about complexity and interconnectedness and pace. And that's whether we've been focusing on threats or hazards, environmental hazards, health hazards and so on, threats from states, non-state actors and new threats, even of the kind we were hearing about just earlier today in the quantum space. But also, as we think about our response to those issues, how do we build resilience? How do we tackle the threats and hazards? How do we exploit the opportunities? Then the themes of pace and agility and interconnectedness in dealing with this very complex world in which we're operating have just come through to me from every session. And I suspect that will continue to be the case in the future. But probably the most important theme that's come over is the one the two ambassadors touched on right now. There is and remains a role for the special relationship, for the Atlantic Alliance, and for the Western Alliance, indeed, not a role, the essential role in shaping the 21st century if the world is to remain peaceful and prosperous. The world needs this alliance just as much as our two countries need it. And that alliance, as Woody Johnson just alluded to, depends upon American leadership, but it also depends upon America's allies sharing the burden. And we know that we must continue to put effort into both parts of that requirement. So as we conclude this event, and I'm just going to go and sign the Portsmouth Protocol. We had the Annapolis Accord, I think, last year, the Portsmouth Protocol this year. Wherever we go next year, we'll be choosing somewhere where we can alliterate the final moment, which could be quite a trick for the fleet commander when he figures out the route. I will sign the Portsmouth Protocol. I hope all our partners After the closing ceremony, we'll sign that as well. The words essentially just try to encapsulate the spirit of this event and the key elements that we have been discussing. And I just want to thank all of you, but in particular to thank once again the skipper, the crew, the ship's company of HMS Queen Elizabeth, the First Sea Lord and the Royal Navy for putting this amazing event together on all of your behalfs, our strategic partners for your involvement, and look forward to seeing you for a bumper year in 2021 off the east coast of the United States and in the Pacific for the next events in this series as we look to the future. After I've signed, I'm going to sign the protocol now. We'd like other colleagues to do so after the closing ceremony. After I've signed it, and I hope our virtual audience will remain with us, Captain Angus Essenhigh will come on to the stage, and there will be a closing ceremony involving the Royal Marines Band from here in Portsmouth, which I hope you will all enjoy and which will mark in an appropriate way the conclusion of this forum. So thank you all very much.
Inwards. Turn. Sound ceremonial sunset.
Good evening, sir. That completes the ceremonial sunset by the Band of Her Majesty's Royal Marines Portsmouth. May I have your permission to play the national anthems and march off the band?